Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest. The William Pace Show, asking the questions you want to ask, getting the answers everyone wants to know. It's a new season of the William Pace Show. We're raising the bar with more commitment to educate, inform, encourage, inspire, empower, and help you have your best life. Everyone deserves to have their best life. I'm just staying the course. Here we go.
Good evening. Thanks so much for tuning in the William Pace Show. Tonight, my special guest is Augusta Ceconi Bates. Good to see you, Gussie.
It's so good to see you again, William.
How are things in upstate New York?
Well, they're warming up. We've got spring finally, and some flowers are popping out of the ground, and music is in the air.
Music is in the air. I love that idea. Music's in the air. And it's good for the air, the music.
Absolutely. It's good for the world.
It really is. Well, when you were on the program last time, we talked about the opera Molly and the Mohawks. And I understand quite a few people have become more familiar with the opera.
Yes, it's becoming a mainstay around here. We're getting requests to do another performance of it. We hope we can schedule one for next year, but time will tell. We got people interested in it again.
That is great. And as you know, the opera Carmen by the composer Bizet, he didn't get international acclaim until he had after his death. So, but we're hoping that you're going to get your roses while you're still alive. And
I hope so too.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Also, I wanted to know that you're from, I wanted to remind the viewers or refresh their memories. You're from upstate New York, Syracuse, and now you live further near Watertown. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm very close to the St. Lawrence River, right across from Canada.
Wow. So do you go up to Canada from time to time?
Yes, I do. And finally, the border has been reopened again. After COVID, we had difficulty. We couldn't cross, but now we can again.
That is great. That is great. Well, I hear that you have quite a few things in the pipeline coming up. And I'm sure the viewers are eager to know what are those interesting projects that you've got coming. Let's talk about, I heard that something about the Martin Luther King project for, is it next, maybe 2024?
Yes, very, very possible. It'll be performed here in Watertown. And we did do it with just a soprano and a tenor in New York City in January, but just with a piano accompaniment. But we're planning on doing this in January during Martin Luther King Day here in Watertown. And of all things, Mr. William Pace is the projected baritone soloist for the cantata.
Did you hear that, folks? Did you hear that? And I'm looking forward to that project, because one, you're the composer of it, and it's such an inspirational piece and that it will be a double blessing for me.
We hope so. And the conductor is Kyle Ramey, and it'll be done in a very big venue. There's a very, very big church here in Watertown, Episcopal Church, where they do a lot of concerts. And he's planning on having the orchestra and another soloist and yourself and a chorus. So it should be a very good event. It was done. It's been done, but it's never been done here in the North Country. And I'm so happy that I am able to say to you, you will be the soloist, because there are solos in that quote what Martin Luther King said. And then we have the words that a lot of kids, when I was teaching, they wrote poems and sort of requiems after King was assassinated. And those children asked me to write the music, and I did. We performed it, and we're going to perform it again.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, particularly because in my early career, I did quite a few performances in upstate New York, Skaneateles, Auburn, Ithaca, Syracuse, and now I guess Watertown. Is that where it's going to be?
That's where it's going to be, and it's in the North Country.
I'm looking forward to Watertown. I have a great friend who is from Watertown, New York, and grew up on the farm there in Watertown. Yes. We've been friends for years. So we want to tell the people what the years mean, whether it's years or decades, But anyway, so I understand there's something else in the pipeline. Is there another possible opera coming forth?
Yes, there is. And this one also is, it'll be in September.
September. Well, I'm all ears. I want to hear more about this opera. I hear it's sort of like a modern day story. Is it sort of?
Yes, it is. It's a true story. It's a true story of a family who had to escape from Czechoslovakia after being controlled by the Nazis and then being controlled by the communists, and finally escaping really by the skin of their teeth in 1948. And they made a miraculous come through and got into Switzerland and then came to Canada. And the two of the young people in that, the brother and sister, later became pairs skating championships in 1962 in Prague. They were able to go to the competition because they were Canadians by now, but their father and mother could not enter Czechoslovakia because it was still communist, and they would have been killed had they went there to see it. So they only had to watch it by television, very early television, 1962. But it's an anti-war document. It's an anti-hatred document. And in view of what's happening in Ukraine right now, this is very, very, very appealing because it fits the time. And it's very, very socially, it's important to have this happen.
Absolutely. So there must be something in your...
It's scheduled for...
There must be... Go ahead. What were you saying?
I said it was going to be September 23rd up here in northern New York. We'll perform it.
Well, we would love for you to come back prior to that and so that we can give you a plug about that performance. There seems to be something, Gussie, in your folks I call Augusta Gussie because we go way back. But
we go way back.
There seems to be something in your spirit that draws you to humanitarian causes. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I come from immigrant parents, so that makes it very important. We were considered low minorities when I was growing up. And a lot of things in the 30s and 40s were not open to me being, an Italian American. Everybody always used to refer to us as mafia. And I said, you're forgetting that there were things like Da Vinci, Verdi. So we had to fight to get where we went.
to fight
Yeah.
for the life that you were destined to have.
Exactly.
Fight for that life. More with Augusta Ceconi Bates when we return. Stay with us. The William Pace Show is coming to you from the heart of the Midwest. Stay with us. Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you. Good evening. Thanks so much for tuning in the William Pace Show tonight. My special guest is the renowned composer, Augusta Ceconi Bates. Thanks so much for being with us, Gussie. It's good to have you here.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Now, you have another project, a big project, and it's another opera, and it's called Skaters. So I wanted you to tell the viewers a little bit about the continuation of the storyline. And as we talked in the first segment, that you're drawn to stories with a lot of human element to it. So tell us a little bit more about the story. I know you touched upon it before we went to break, but is there a happy ending? And it is an opera, so does it have a happy ending?
Yes, this one has a happy ending.
Okay, something about hamburgers or something? I read the libretto, and at the tail end of the libretto.
Oh, yes. What it is because when they moved to Canada, of course, and they were in English Canada, in Ontario, and they were Czech, so the language is a little bit difficult. They could speak French, but not English. So there was always this we have one segment in there where the two boys tease their father about his inability to understand the difference in words that sound the same but have different meanings. In particular, like saying hair is the hair that's on your head and the hair that's like a rabbit. And later on, they discuss what they like in the food. Oh, this New World food is very, very nice. They love hamburgers and they love hot dogs. And the father is, well, yes, but I still like my old Czech family tradition of nice, big, fat dumplings.
Okay, so he wasn't quite ready to move to hamburgers yet, then quite. So.
No.
What interests me about this new project that you're doing is that you chose a woman conductor for it, which is you don't see too many women women conductors conducting operas. I know that Sarah Carlisle of the Boston Opera conducted that company, the orchestra. So was there reasoning for choosing a woman to conduct?
Yes, this woman is Melody R. Green. She is from Akron, Ohio. There you go. Right. Yeah, heart of the Midwest.
Yeah.
And she's a longtime editor for music printing companies. And with this particular score, she has been editing my score as I've gone along. She's been working on this score with me for 2 years to make sure that things are, correct notation, that the description of what has to be played is there. She knows this so well that it just seemed this is the one to conduct it. She conducts choirs quite often, but she said, oh, this is going to be the first time that I do an opera. I said, so? So she's ready to do it. and we're putting together an orchestra. We have to contact the union, the Federated Musicians Union, because we are the sponsors of this are the Oriskany Alliance. Okay, it's a not-for-profit organization. It takes in money and it pays out money, but we make sure that when we hire musicians, that we pay union scale. This is very important, because if you really want to have something continue, they have to. Its union is very, very important in this, because they work together. They understand what it is. They're professionals. And this is going to be a 35-piece orchestra.
Wow, that's a pretty good size orchestra.
Yeah. And one of the other instrumentalists in this is going to be an accordion player, because there's a cute scene in there when Henry comes back from prison the first time under the Nazis, and they have a big celebration. Well, in a Czech home in the 1940s, almost everybody would have either a violin and or an accordion. So we're going to have him. He's going to play an accordion on the accordion. He's going to play a chardas, and the kids that are there are going to dance to the chardas.
Now, will the accordion, the person playing the accordion, will they be on the stage or in the pit in the orchestra?
No, he'll be on the stage, because he's going to be part of the celebration.
Okay, so he's not only going to serve in two roles, as musician and a stage character.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that is fascinating. I remember a performance of Carmen that I was in, and in the early days, and but funding is a constant for the arts, a constant challenge to come up with the dollars, because people think that their ticket takes care of the expense. But the ticket only takes care of one half, if that. And so you have to have sponsors, donors, contributors, people who are willing to unzip their checkbooks, and support the arts. And because that is how it's done on contributions and so forth. So do you find that to be, it's always been a challenge, but do you think the challenge has become even easier, or is it even more a challenge today?
Well, it's more challenging, but it's easier. There are foundations out there who definitely donate money for things like this. And because we're going to be doing this in a performing arts center of a school in the North Country, which is very, very sparsely populated, we can seek help to help these musicians get something after they get out of school. The problem we have is that when they leave high school, they don't use their instruments anymore. There's nothing there to play. They haven't got any place to go. We want to make sure they have a place to go. The Oriskany Alliance every year has put on a production somewhere in this area, so that we can call on student musicians to help us and student singers to help us. So we do a few performances every year that involve young people, so that they can continue to hone their skills. And as far as getting money, well, we have put in applications for through the Northern New York Community Foundation. We have asked for a grant from them. We've got 5 other places that we are seeking grants. One of the grants that we're seeking $25,000.
Wow, that's quite a chunk of money.
Yes, but that's about half of what the production's going to cost. And because this is a world premiere, we're going to do the performance in the afternoon, and we're going to have a reception that afternoon after the performance is over, so that they can meet with the performers. We're also doing a printed program, which will have all the names of people who have given money to this. It will tell you the history of the Oriskany Alliance. It will tell you who the people are that are performing, so that it'll be a nice little document to keep for a memorial. And further, this particular work my co-composer was Charles Schneider, who passed last year.
Wow.
So the premiere is going to be in memoriam to Charles Schneider,
For
my
him.
co-composer. Yes.
That is
But again,
wonderful.
it's the Oriskany Alliance, and if anybody wants to send us, we are listed. We are a 501c3. It is listed. If they look up my name or they look up the Oriskany Alliance, they'll find out something about it online.
Yes, and we're going to put on the screen where people can contribute, or if they want to call and get more information. So when we return, we're going to talk about a little bit more about that and how people can get in contact with you and support the opera. There's more to come on the William Pace Show, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest. Stay with us. Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you. Good evening. Thanks so much for tuning in the William Pace Show. My special guest this evening is Augusta Ceconi Bates. She is the composer of operas like Molly and the Mohawks, and one that she's going to be producing this coming fall called Skaters. Thanks so much for being on the program tonight, Gussie.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. As we were talking about before we went to break, we were talking about funding and how people can support the arts and why that is so important, because your ticket that you purchase to come to any performance, whether it's the ballet or theater, it only takes care of one half of that cost. And right. You've got, so many expenditures. Well, the orchestra, the musicians, the cost of the theater. Generally, there's a fee associated with that. Programs, stagehands, and it depends if it's union or, there's a lot of expense to it, more so than it's more than just buying a ticket, and you have to have that additional support. So
absolutely.
If there are viewers out there tonight that, since we're seen all across the country in various places, if you would like to support this project, there'll be an address on our screen that will be coming up, and you can contact Augusta Ceconi Bates through that, or through a phone number as well. Again, Gussie, I want you to remind the people, tell them a little bit about why this opera is so special and why they should see it, and remind them of the date coming up next September.
Okay. The opera is very important. It's a true story, and it will remind us of the horrors that come after Hitler, Stalin, and now Putin. So we have to keep reminding people, we live in a country that has no war, but these people in Ukraine are going through virtually the same thing that the family in this opera went through in the 1940s. It's so important to remember that the world at war is not good, and we have to help people. And it's just so important to do that. Music is the great healer of the world. And if we show that these people survived and they made something good of their lives. So they came across across the ocean into Canada. They have a marvelous company that they have had for 7 generations. And they had kids that grew up to become skating champions in 1962.
Wow.
So there's always a future if we can get people away from wars and away from war-torn places. I feel very, very strongly about that. And it's the music is the healing element here. If you have, it will heal the world. And this is what we've got to think in terms of. So,
I would have to agree with you 100%. Music is a great healer, and it can lift your spirits, and it can motivate you, it can inspire you, it can empower you. And I really do think, too, that music is the universal language. It combines people from different countries to be in one accord.
Absolutely.
And also, I wanted to ask you a little bit, since you're an opera composer, I want to chime a little bit quickly. Do you think opera is coming into a new day, a new medium?
Oh, yes, I think it is. I think you're going to find a lot of the social statements are going to be made through opera. Because it's just music. It has words and it has stories, and that's important.
Absolutely. And some of these stories in some of these operas, like Lucia di Lammermoor, Tosca, Madame Butterfly, some of these operas, the stories are, would probably be just as strong as anything you'd see in a motion picture. You see, some of the serious motion pictures. And I think as they do opera in English, with the English subtitles on the stage, that will too help people to comprehend and fully see the value of opera. It encompasses so many elements of the arts, and from theatrics, music, so it's I believe there's a lot more to come for the profession, the operatic world.
Oh, yes.
Before we go, we're going to touch upon the date for skaters, and we're going to put back up on the screen how people can contribute to this performance, and we're going to also put on the phone a phone number, as well as a website too. So tell us a little bit. I'm going to let you round it up and tell us.
Okay. It is going to be September 23 at 2 p.m. at the Indian River High School Auditorium. It's the Indian River Center for the Performing Arts. It's in Philadelphia, New York, not Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, New York.
New York.
Yes, and it's way up in the middle of absolutely, it's culturally void in that part of the world, but this Performing Arts Center brings a real breath of fresh air to them.
So it's a bright light.
Yes, it is. The 23rd of September, 2 p.m. There's a reception to follow. This is a world premiere. It is dedicated in part to the Czechoslovakia that suffered during World War II, and to Ukraine, which is suffering right now. And to my co-composer, Charles Schneider, in memory of him. And it's a my editor has claimed that it really is a magnificent work. She was a music critic as well. So when she said it, I guess that's what it is. We have one tenor signed up for it. We have Jonathan Howell from the Syracuse area. He's going to come up there to sing one of the roles. We're looking for a soprano, and we're looking for a baritone.
You heard it on the William Pace Show. So if you want a golden opportunity to perform in upstate New York, just call the number that you see on the screen. Thank you so much, Gussie, for being on the program, and we'll have you back prior to the performance in September.
Thank you again. And
Good to
God
see
bless
you. Good to see you. Take care.
Take care.
There's more to come on the William Pace Show. Stay with us. Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.
The William Pace Show through the years has been a beacon of light in the Midwest, taking you to such destinations as the Navy Pier, the Palmer Hilton Palace Hotel, the German Village, the Showboat Majestic Theatre, the Ohio Village, and the Krohn Conservatory. There's always something cooking in the kitchen on the William Pace Show. Some of the biggest stars, entertainers, and political figures like B.B. King, Jimmy Walker, Bob Carlisle, Patti Austin, Mr. T, Whitley Phibbs, and Congressman Tony Hall have appeared on the William Pace Show. Now, without further ado, we proudly present the William Pace Show on CATV, coming to you from the heart of the Midwest.
Subscribe to the William Pace Show YouTube channel. Be sure to click the bell and give us the thumbs up. Thank you.